to understand the underlying stochastic processes and the other stuff. Because I don't want to consider American options while doing the evaluation, price evaluation of the given option. So we continue our discussion. We briefly discussed about what we mean by call option, put option, and how one can create trading strategies and portfolios. So that shall we start means actually I need to start and you can stop talking. It's not actually we all can start talking. So hope in case if you misunderstood that. Okay, are you ready? Okay, so I'm trying to recap some of the things we discussed last week regarding the options, and we extend the discussion further by creating some trading strategies. Nothing but actually creating different portfolios so that actually you might end up with some sort of profitable opportunities. At the same time, actually, we should also remember that we assume that there wouldn't be any arbitrage opportunities. So based on the non-arbitrage opportunities, the assumption, we try to evaluate the prices for the put call options. That is even for American options, but we are not going into those details. Let us see. So hope you all understand what we mean by option. So I'm not going to bother you again. I just keep on repeating. So and we understand that there are different varieties. Broadly, you can categorize them into call and put. Call is basically right to buy with no obligation. Put is right to sell with no obligation. So you need to pay some price for this, otherwise nobody would give you just a right without having any obligation. So we usually notate. So the notation for the call option price is little c, but you can use any letter, but let us maintain the consistency. P is meant for the capital P is meant for the put option price. And usually the options are basically for a period of time, and we assume the tenure is T. If this is 0, so that means after T units of time, on T days or T years, whatever it may be. So you have the right to execute the option without having any obligation. And these are some of the variables we have used. And we are basically considering European options. So European call, European put. And we understand that the value of a call option is given as max of St minus k of 0. If you see value, then you would execute, otherwise that is 0. By the way, the strike price, every option has strike price, we consider that as k. And at the beginning of the option, so that means while you are purchasing the option or while you are selling the option, the underlying option is always basically a sort of derived entity. The value of the option is derived based on the underlying. For the sake of example or simplicity, we assume that the underlying is a share of stock. So it has its own price. The notation we have used is S0. Is basically the price of the underlying or price of the share at time equals to 0, and we represent ST is basically the price of the underlying at time equals to capital T. So this is basically the notation, and based on we use the same notation for the rest of the class or for the rest of the course. Okay, so the graphical representation is basically for the given call option. Please try to remember that this is a sort of a standard graph you should remember forever, unless you leave finance as a different story. This is basically representing the horizontal axis is representing stock price, and the vertical axis is basically the value of the option. And there is a strike price, okay? And when you are considering the European, for example, call option, if you are long, so that means if you are buying that, then the value of the option is represented like this. As long as you remember this stuff, I don't see any problem with the rest of the class. So this dip here is basically representing the price that you pay. For example, this little c is basically representing this dip. You need to pay some price. If you don't execute, the maximum loss that you incur is that little c. The price is wasted, nothing else. Okay. And now, by just using some of the simple calculations, we understand that you can always evaluate the price of the option. For example, this particular thing is representing the value that you would realize at time equals to capital T. So we calculated the present value. Let us say that I am calling it, sorry, I am using European call. Present value is of the option is the discounted value, that is S0 minus K e power minus RT, comma 0. So max, which can be written as S0 minus K e power minus RT. So this is the present value of the call option. Since in addition to this value, you are basically putting some extra non-obligation, so that's why the price or the value, the person who is going to buy this option must pay at least so this is the condition. If you identify this condition is violated, the violation of this condition, then you can find the arbitrage opportunities. We discussed how one can create a trading strategy or portfolio so that actually you would always end up with risk-free profits. Okay. So similarly, one can do the calculations for the put option on the similar lines. I don't want to repeat that. So European put option, the value, that is the price somebody is going to pay, must be at least K e power minus RT minus S0. Because the value of the option is max of K minus ST comma 0. So that's why the discounted value is here. So this must be considered as the price for the put option. And any violation to this condition, you can create a trading strategy and you can get the risk-free returns from the constructed portfolio. And we also understand that there is a relation between the prices of the call option and put option, and we realized that the formula for that one is also calculated by just using a simple formula. So let me, that is put call parity. So according to the put call parity, let us not worry about the derivation. I'm just going to write it. Put call parity. It basically gives you the relation between the C and P as S0 minus K e power minus RT. So idea is simple. One can derive this by just constructing a sort of a long call and short put, and the value is always so a long call and a short put. So you always end up with a straight line, which is nothing but st minus k as value. So that st minus k present value is this one. The portfolio is basically long call and short put. Based on that argument, we can always derive the relation between C and P. We call that as put call parity. Any questions? Is it clear up to now? Do you have any extra explanation? So hope you remember actually put call parity is nothing but we are long on call and short on put. This is the portfolio. When you do that, long on call means you are buying call, short on put means you are selling the put option. If you buy that, the graph I am just showing this one represents the value that you get from the long on call, and if you are selling the put, then the value would be something like this. So from this portfolio, the value is always st minus k, and when you find the present value of the st minus k, which is nothing but s naught minus the discounted value of k, and this must be equivalent to the present value of your portfolio. Present value of your portfolio means how much price are you going to pay for the call, that is C, and how much price. Paying price means actually that is the value you will see. If the value is 0, do you think actually you buy 0 value thing for 10 pounds? You don't. So price always represents the underlying value. So that's why C minus P represents your portfolio value. Portfolio is nothing but in this case long on call, short on put. So this simple relation would give you the relation between the short and put and call options price. So for example, while observing the put options and call options in real market, if the given put option or short put option and the call option, the strike price is, let us say, K, and if they are not satisfying this condition, you can always exploit the arbitrage opportunity. So this is the relation. Any questions? Fine. Let us move on to the next one. So, as I mentioned, we are going to create some trading strategies. A strategy is nothing but creating a sort of portfolio. Okay? If the construction of the portfolio is sensible, then what happens is, when you move into the future, you could see the benefits in the form of actually positive returns. If the trading strategy or the portfolio construction is not sensible, then obviously in the future actually you would see a sort of negative returns. So now we are going to understand how one can create different trading strategies based on these options. So let us start with simple things. If I really do not know how to construct a trading strategy using the put options and call options, perhaps we may start with very simple things. So we'll explain this slide. My simple trading strategy category or maybe there might be some name, no? It's basically the first category is taking positions on both the option and the underlying. does that mean? So let us look at case 1. If you are considering, let us say, call option, for example, I can always create a portfolio by using the following constructions. I am, let us say, the first case is short call and long on the underlying. Underlying is nothing but stock. Long on stock. So what I am going to do is, according to this portfolio, or you may consider this as a trading strategy of category 1. In the category 1, there are different possibilities. So I am going to short the call. Short call means actually I am selling a call option, and long on stock means I am buying a stock. So if this is the case, let us see how the value of the portfolio would be. So as we discussed, we always consider this two-dimensional graph, and this is your stock price. And when you are considering call option, obviously it has its own strike price. Let us say that K represents the strike price, and this is short call. Short call means what sort of I am selling the call option, so I may get some benefit. I am just using the dotted lines, and if anything beyond the K value, I am going to see negative values for the first part of the portfolio. My portfolio has two components. First component is short call, and the second component is long stock. Okay? So that means I sold a call option. If the stock price is moving towards K, until K actually I don't see any problem, because beyond K only the person who bought the call option would execute the option. Then I would see some sort of negative payoff. Otherwise, there should not be any issue. And if I am going to use I am going to consider long on stock means I bought a stock. I bought the stock for, let us say, somewhere here for some price. S0, as we mentioned, is the price of the underlying or price of the stock at the time of buying the or selling the call option. So what sort of value I would see if the stock, if I buy the stock here, S0, if the price is moving towards the left hand side, then I would see negative payoff. If the stock is moving on the other side, I would see positive payoff. Okay? You need not be an expert to realize that. Do you think the payoff from the stock would be something like this? Do you agree? This is the second component, so I'm just writing down. So from this component of the portfolio, this dotted line is the payoff, and similarly from the other component, the payoff is going to be, okay? So then I could see how much payoff this would be. I sold the call, so this is a sort of minute price, because the price of the call option C, so this is the amount I am going to get, but compared to this amount, the loss that I am going to make is bigger, so that means my actual payoff from this line would be somewhere here. And after that, there is a sort of compensation between this one and this one, so this would be the actual payoff from the portfolio. So this is a sort of very simple exercise, how one can extract the payoff graph from the given portfolio of options. The simplest case we have considered, in this case we have only two things, the option and the underlying. if your portfolio is according to this strategy, that is short call, sell a call, and buy the underlying. If that is the case, you can extract the value, which is a sort of solid line, is the portfolio payoff, and the dotted lines are representing the two components of your portfolio. Is that clear? So it's a simplest trading strategy or portfolio that you could imagine. We use this trading strategy when you know that the stock price is not falling below S0. If the stock price is not falling below S0, then actually most of the times actually you would end up with profits. So that means as a seller of the call option, if you think that there is a sort of booming market and stock price is going to be on the other side, then actually this might be a sort of a profitable strategy for the seller of the call option. Okay, any questions here? Yeah?
If you knew that the stock price will go up, why wouldn't you simply be long on the stock then?
Yeah, that's always there actually. So there are two issues here. If you are long on stock, you miss the leverage. We go for the options for the extra leverage. For example, if you have 100 pounds, if you want to buy the stock, you may buy, let us say, one stock or one share for that 100 pounds. But when you shift your business to the options, buying or selling the things, then actually the leverage would be much more than that. Yes, the question is genuine, no doubt. Yeah, this is a toy example, remember that. Any questions? So case 2, how many possible cases actually one could envisage here? So taking positions, both the option and the underlying. So you can short call, long on the stock. You can opposite this the case as something like case 2 is your portfolio is long on call and short on stock. So this is it. You have two components. Here, instead of selling the call, you are buying the call. Okay? If you are buying the call, then how things would be? The things would be quite opposite to this one. You could easily see that, but let us see. X-axis is always stock price. Stock price could be anywhere. Okay, we are talking about the future stock price. Okay? The price that you could imagine or that you could expect at the time of capital T. Hope you understand that. So there is a strike price K, and you are long on call. Long on call means you bought the option, for that you need to pay C. So that C is below the horizontal line, so that means the negative value to the portfolio. But after the point, you could imagine that is positive. And stock price is greater than the strike price. Obviously, ST minus K is positive. So this dotted line represents the first part of your portfolio. Short on stock, you may buy the stock somewhere, let us say here. S0 is the price that you have paid for the stock. And when you buy this, you are short on stock. That means you short sell the stock. If that is the case, if price is being increased, you would see losses. If price is being decreased, you would see profits. That is basically quite opposite to holding the buying and holding. Okay, you basically sold the stock, so that actually if the price is decreased, then actually you just pay less amount in the future, so you could end up with profits. Hope you remember the short sale. So in that case, what happens is this dotted line represents payoff from the second part of your portfolio. Okay? And now you can see that C is so minute and you have a huge profit here because of the short sell from the second component of the portfolio, and you would imagine that this would be something like this. Because here both are pulling in the opposite direction, more or less they have the equal force, that's why. And this would be a sort of profitable thing in case if you believe that the stock price is going to be decreased. So you can see that huge profits, but the upside negative payouts are basically bounded below. That means actually your losses are limited, but the profits are basically many times more than the losses that you could imagine from this strategy. So how many strategies one could create? Millions, uncountable actually. So you could imagine various combinations, permutations, and remember that in these two strategies we are basically considering the same strike price. So you have only one option and the associated underlying. So how many cases you could imagine in this case? Any idea? We discussed about call option. Okay? Long call, short call, and there is another option, put option, short put and long put. So you could imagine the similar sort of simple trading strategies or portfolios for the put options as well. Remember that this is the story related to European options. Okay? In the European case, the simplest possible portfolios are basically 4. We have discussed 2, and you could imagine how things would be for the other graphs. So that is what we discussed on the here. We discussed that one is the latest one. B. A is the first one, second one, and this third one is basically constructing the portfolios by using the put option. Short put and long put. Then you could imagine the kind of graphs for those simple strategies. Can you create the C and D, or do you need explanation? Hope you understand A and B from the previous discussion. Okay, remember that A and B, and if you come back to this is what we discussed. Yeah. A and B, that is nothing but short call, long stop. That is A, long call, short is B, and if you replace call option with put option, then you would end up with the remaining 2 graphs, C and D. Can I explain the other 2 graphs, or can you do that on your own? How many of you? How many of you can do on your own for the remaining? No? Okay, let us see one more. At least you should try. Out of 4, I will solve 3, and the 4th one is your homework. I don't know how many of you are doing the homework. I kept on saying this is homework. But yeah, it's always good to have some practice. So let me do one more thing, case 3. In this case, I am considering long put and short stop. Okay. It must be easy. So look at the portfolio. You are basically buying a put and selling a stock. So in words, the portfolio, in case if you have any questions, portfolio is nothing but buying a put option. Remember that we are discussing about European options only. buying a put option and selling a stock, where the stock is the underlying of the option. So now the portfolio payoff graph is the following. As usual, we don't look at the other side of the graph. Why? I'm just considering this side. Should I consider the other side? Why? Sorry? Under 0. Why shouldn't we consider under 0? When you buy the stock, actually the minimum price that you could imagine is 0. Okay? So just because you bought the stock, actually they don't ask you to pay back some more money. Oh, you lost so much, pay back 1 million. You bought £100 share, now things are worse, you need to pay. That's why we call it as a limited liability. Limited liability. So that's why the max that you could lose is everything that you have invested on it. So that's why we don't look at the other side of the graph. And as usual, this is your stock price. And there must be a strike. And now carefully look at what we are doing here. We are buying a put option. Buying the put option means you are long on the put option. So put option payoff would be when the payoff is K minus ST plus. So that means max of, in case if you get confused. Max of K minus ST. As long as the stock price is less than K, you get the profit. So that means your payoff from the first part is the following. Okay. That makes sense. And the price that you're going to pay is B, because you bought the option. Okay, I don't see any problem here. And the next one is, so let me write this one. This first part payoff is this one. And I'm going to write the second payoff. Selling a stock, short selling. So I get profit when the stock price is, what sort of thing you could imagine here? So when you sell the stock, we have already done. So if the price is basically increasing, you would lose money. If the price is decreasing, you would end up with profits. So in this case, I created a sort of a weird trading strategy. What happens is the following. So let us say that somewhere here, you bought the price, you bought the stock for S0, and when you are selling this one, then what happens? You get this one. This is a sort of portfolio that I have created. We can create many portfolios. So then, when the stock price is on the left hand side, you will see profits. When the stock price is on the other side, you would see negative. So this would be the portfolio payoff. It seems like actually your portfolio is a sort of gambling. You have huge exposure on both the sides. If things are on your side, then you're going to see more profits. If things are in the opposite direction, you're going to lose so much. So how many of you think actually this is a sort of a sensible portfolio? Mathematically, nothing wrong in it. Okay, the portfolio is fine. So, how many of you think this is a sort of sensible portfolio? You have huge exposure. This exposure can be minimized by altering the things. Buying a put option, instead of selling, you may buy the stock. So then things would be quite opposite and the risk would be minimized. So you can play around by just creating your own portfolios. Okay? So portfolio is nothing but a collection of an option and the underlying, nothing else. So you take position on the option. Are you going to be long or short? On the underlying, on the stock, you might be long and short. So if you decide that your portfolio is ready, then you can see the payoff diagram and you decide according to the outcome of the payoff diagram. So some people may like it, some people may not like it. That depends on the way you consider the risk. Okay? So this is a sort of story about simple portfolio that you could create from the single option and single stock. Any questions? Any question? Which one? This one? Because both are positive. You know, you are adding these two things. That's why I put that as sort of opposite. You have two components. This dotted line is positive. Okay? And this dotted line also positive. When you add positive, positive, then the resultant would be greater than these two positive values. Understand? Yeah, of course, in this case. Beyond that, yeah. Yes. That depends actually, because that depends on this distance. It's a complicated one actually. If we know properly the difference between S0 and K, then actually you can clearly plot the graph. Otherwise, in the next slides, actually I'm going to use algebra rather than the graphs. If I know clearly the values for S0 and K, then I can actually put the graph, put the line where exactly that should pass. So for the next trading strategies, I'm going to use the algebra rather than the graphs. But definitely on here, definitely this must be greater than these two values. That must be the case. Yeah, but here actually that's a subtle thing. Any questions? So now you are ready for the portfolio management using the options. You think so? Can you? Okay, so what I do is, I am going to complicate the things by considering a simple strategy. When you look at spreads, to be honest, actually nobody, usually they don't use the strategies that we discuss. Those are very naive and simple. Sometimes actually they are sensible. I'm not commenting on that issue. But most frequently people use spreads. So spread is basically the following. Let us look at the definition. Spreads. Spreads is nothing but a trading strategy. A trading strategy is nothing but a portfolio. So ultimately, spread is a sort of portfolio. Okay. So we call spread, we call the given trading strategy as spread. Sorry. Okay, sorry. So we are discussing about the spreads. Okay, spread is nothing but a trading strategy. Trading strategy is nothing but a portfolio. So that means spread is a sort of portfolio. A given trading strategy is considered as spread if you are going to use more than one option where the options have different strike prices. So a spread is nothing but creating a portfolio. For creating a portfolio, you need to use more than one option. In the previous strategies, we used only one option. Okay? But spread involves considering more than one option and making sure that each of these options strike price are different. So let us consider a simple example so that you could understand what we mean by considering a. So if you look at that, this is known as bull spread. In this case, we are buying a call, strike price K1, and selling a call, strike price is K2. If you look at this graph. I am going to, the portfolio involves two call options. Look at the thin line. We'll come back to this solid line later. Look at the first option's payoff. You are basically buying the call option with strike price K1, so that's why the graph is according to the call option. The second call option, you sold off the second call option and the payoff is going to be according to this. The only difference is these two call options have different strike prices. Okay, let me explain that on the paper. So, bull spread is a portfolio or a trading strategy. According to bull spread, buy a call option with strike is K1. Sell a call option with strike K2. That is a portfolio. What is the difference between this portfolio and the previous portfolios that we have discussed? Here we have two options, nothing else. We call this bull spread. That's a name actually. So easy that way. You create your own strategy and just call that as by using your last name. So doesn't matter. These are sort of standard strategies in the industry. Okay. So it turns out to be just singing the same old song. You have a horizontal axis, vertical axis, and you have the stock price at different points at time equals to capital T. The only thing is you should understand is the following. There is also a condition where K2 is greater than K1. You are basically using two different options with different strike prices, but make sure that the strike prices are different. When they are different, one must be greater than the other one. You should consider the following situation. K2 is greater than K1. Why? I don't know. We will see that. Why? Okay? After seeing the graph. Well, okay, you may come up with K1 is greater than K2, or K2 is half of K1, or K1 is 1/3 of K2. You can create as many strategies as you could imagine. There is no limit. But money is limited, so according to your portfolio, if you are in a position to make money, that is a sensible trading strategy, no doubt. So coming back to this is your payoff from the bull spread. You have 2 points, K1 and K2. You know that K1 is less than K2. Okay? So you bought a call option, so obviously you could imagine the payoff from the first one is that one. And the payoff from the sell one, you basically sold off the call option. So that means what happens? Do you get any positive or negative? Yeah, you can enjoy the profit, let us say C and C, but actually the prices are different. Sorry, I should use C2 and C1. I'm not calling them as C. Why? I use C1 and C2. Is there any reason? Yeah, there is a reason, because when the strike prices are different, obviously the prices of the options must be different. Okay? So that's why I call them as C2 and C1. And you can see the payoff. So this one is payoff from the first component, and this is the payoff from the second component of your strategy. Okay. And that would be somewhere here, the resultant one, because unless I know exactly C2 and C1 values, I cannot plot this very accurately, but time being assumed that this would be the situation. And you can see that I am seeing a sort of sensible profit beyond this value, but the moment I reach K2, something is pulling down, so that would be a sort of these two are basically pulling down, so that would be somewhere here. So this is a sort of profit, a positive profit from the trading strategy, and the losses that you could imagine is bounded below by this minute number. So that means the losses are so small, the profits are large according to the given trading strategy or the portfolio. So the losses are so minute, the profits, of course, you don't get a sort of huge profits, but compared to the profits that you could imagine, the losses are so minute, and that's why actually bull spread is considered as a sort of a sensible portfolio of options. So it's a sort of very important spread that you should remember. When I say very important, just put one or two stars there. I may ask you, construct a bull spread and display or just plot the payoff function. So this is the answer. But here actually the arguments are graphical. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do the calculations algebraically so that actually you can see the actual payoffs in numbers or in variables. At the moment I'm just showing the graphs, straight lines, and the difference between two straight lines is another straight line. This is not that accurate, but this would explain you some sort of the underlying mechanics of the portfolio of options. Okay, when we take break 5 minutes, when we come back, we will move on to the algebra and do the calculation.